Okay, we are going to check out the American Southwest, particularly this path of water flow that went through here and then out the Grand Canyon. And so there's a lot of cool features we're going to examine. Cataracts, furrows, scours, mega channels. We're going to compare it, we're going to compare it to the Washington channeled scablands. Almost all of the features that we are going to find in the American Southwest, you can find them in the Washington Basin. And then we're going to use a topographical map to check out the Grand Canyon and some other cool stuff. So, let's begin in this area here. And yeah, let's begin with this one here. So what are we looking at with this feature here? It's the beginning of a channel. You can see a channel here, and they begin abruptly with a rounded edge. And they've got intermediary arms that are in between them. Okay? And this is a classic example of what they find in Washington, which would be a cataract. So you go to Frenchman Coulee, you see the channel and how it begins abruptly with a rounded edge. This is a feature that is made by a waterfall. So water flow is coming off the land this way, and it erodes these channels backwards. And then Potholes Coulee is probably the best example. You've got the parallel ravines where it begins, and then it flows down into the cataract, and then the cataracts have plunge pools. And you can see that the landscape is quite scarred up with these scours. And in Washington, or in the American Southwest, you can find plenty of these scours. They basically cover hundreds of miles. All of these circular depressions are erosional features. And then you've got the cataracts that begin abruptly. So lots of scours, and then you also have parallel lines, which are furrows or lineations. So with this, you can actually see quite a strong lineation going down this way until it hits the cataract. And when you look at this area, you notice there's an asymmetry to the cataracts, right? So these cataracts are found on this side, but they're not found going down towards the water on this side. They're mostly found basically showing a current from the northeast. These ones here, you don't find them going down this way. This is another great spot of this asymmetry. You've got these ravines, but no big ravines going down this way. And so if we look at, now let's talk about these furrows or lineations. You see that there's a pattern of parallel ravines, and that pattern is seamless with these lineations. So these are erosional features. Sometimes they can be fractures. But in this location, I'm pretty confident that these are erosional furrows. And so let's go to Washington. Let's go up to the channeled scablands. All of these braided stream channels were from huge floodwaters. From Lake Missoula, that's only a very small part of it. But let's go to this spot here. So here we find these parallel channels / furrows that are very straight, and we can actually track these in this line. We gotta zoom out a little. And so if you can see how they are strikingly similar to what is found in the American Southwest. And you can go farther down the Columbia. You can go over by Rufus. Where's Rufus at? Well, anyways, you can see them over here as well. This parallel pattern on the landscape. Let me show you that spot. I think it's right here. Oh, here, yeah, here you can see them good. Now these look like they're more of sediment features, but the sediment features are found in the same path as the carved furrows. Oh yeah, it's by this bridge, I'm pretty sure. So you can see the texture of these landscape, how it's pretty scoured out. Oh, I should have tagged this one. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so you've got the Columbia River obviously flowing in this trajectory. And then you find these parallel ravines that run along the landscape. So let's go back to the desert. And you can see that same pattern, the same pattern of the furrows are in the trajectory of the water flow, particularly in this spot here. You can see that quite clearly. And this right here, you can see a connection from the furrows here, and then they come down the other side. Some locations, they're more likely to be fractures, but in a lot of this area, I think this is water erosion. And then, yeah, let's check out some mega channels. So this is by Page, Arizona, and you got the Colorado River, and this is a huge expansion bar. But what I really like, even though it's a lot smaller and less impressive, I really love this channel bank here. You can just really see where the water was. And you've even got some smaller steps in it as well. But even though this is the dry desert now, water flow was all the way up against here. And there's actually a bunch of major terraces in this area. Here's another good mega channel. That's a big one too. Let's see. Let's go to miles. What is that? Almost 3 miles. Talking about some pretty big water flow in this desert. See what this one's about. Oh, these are actually drumlins here. You can see the streamlined pattern, and then the larger streamlined pattern. Very typical of drumlin formations. But let's try to find some cool channel banks. Here's a nice channel bank. You can follow it all the way. down this way. I think there was another one here I didn't label. Oh yeah, this guy too. Wait, is that the one I just did? No, so this is... Yeah, so this is that channel bank here. And then it kind of dives into a ravine. But if you go over to this spot here, now you can track this channel bank. Now you can quite clearly see how this was the edge of a huge channel. And you can see the other bank is kind of a little bit more heavily eroded and not as clean, but you can see that the other side of the bank was here. So when you look at this from bank to bank, you're dealing with a lot of water flow in this area. And yeah, also something I like about this area is yeah, this is almost streamlined here, like a U shape. But where was I? Oh yeah, this spot here. This is if you look at this pass right here, in between this butte and this mountain here, you see there's a bunch of these parallel ravines that begin suddenly. This one in particular is quite clear. But you've got water flow that flowed through here to make these large channels. And if we get a measurement, you see that they're quite large. And then here you can see some cataracts carved into it, also agreeing with this same water flow.